What up, people? It's your boy, Mr. Nolens. Alright, guys, so today we are going to be going over homework 8.2a. This homework is not a grade. The reason being, the first three problems are word problems, and we're going to have to create equations from word problems. We have not taught y'all that yet. That's what we're going to be going into on the next unit. We just wanted to expose it to y'all so you can at least see what it looks like. Now, again, I'm going to show you how to do these three. Then you're going to have to write equations from word problems. This is on your test, so make sure you definitely pay attention here. Alright, so let's look at number one. Manny earned a total of 85 points on 2 quizzes. He earned 35 points on the first quiz. Write an equation that can be used to find how many points he earned on the second quiz. Okay, so first I'm going to start with some variables. Remember, variables are going to represent numbers. So my first variable, I'm going to call it x. And this is going to represent my first quiz. My second variable, I'm going to label it y. And that's going to represent my second quiz. So here's what it's going to look like. My first quiz, again we're labeling it x, plus my second quiz, again we're going to label it y, is equal to how many total points? Well, this person made a total of 85 points. So here's an equation. Quiz 1 plus quiz 2 is equal to 85 points. But we're not done yet. It tells us he earned 35 points on the first quiz. Well, x represents my first quiz, right? So instead of x now, I'm going to put in a 35. So 35 points from the first quiz, plus however many points he makes on the second quiz, is equal to 85 total points. There is your equation. Notice we didn't solve, we just wrote an equation. Alright, number 2. 7 tickets to the Children's Museum of Brownsville cost $35. Write an equation that could be used to find how much one ticket cost. Well, how many tickets did they buy? They bought 7 tickets. Oh, I forgot to label this. We need to label my variable. So, I'm going to say C is the cost per ticket. Actually, can I do that? Yes, I can. So, $7 per ticket. Ooh, I misspoke. Let me start all over here. Okay. So C is the cost per ticket. We don't know how much it costs per ticket. How many tickets did they buy? They bought 7 tickets. We don't know how much they cost. So $7 per ticket. And they spent a total of $35. There's your answer. 7 times the cost per ticket, and you spend a total of $35. Some of y'all are going to go, what? I don't understand this. We don't expect y'all to understand this yet, guys. This is something brand new. Y'all have never written an equation from a word problem like this before, so don't get so nervous. We're going to be going in detail how to set up and write equations from word problems, okay? Ground beef is being divided into 4 hamburgers. Each hamburger is 7 ounces. Write an equation that can be used to find how many ounces of ground beef is there altogether. I'm going to use G for ground beef. So notice how I am labeling my variable. Do we know how many ounces of ground beef we have? No, we don't. So I'm going to put a G for my ground beef. And it's being divided. It gives you the math operation right here. It says it's being divided. It's being divided into how many sections? 4. Each hamburger is. You'll see this keyword is right here. Is means equals. Each hamburger is equal to 7 ounces. There's your equation. Eventually we're going to go in there and solve them. Alright, so once again, don't worry so much about these top 3. This is what we're going into in the next unit. Alright? This is the part that you need to know for your test this Thursday and Friday. Now, we are going to be creating an equation from a table. Now, how would you get from 1 to 13? Some are going to say, well, that's plus 12. Okay. So is 2 plus 12 equal to 26? Well, no, that doesn't work. So remember the rule I told you. To go from small to big, you are either adding, and if adding doesn't work, you have to multiply. So we just said the adding doesn't work. So how else can you get from 1 to 13? Well, can't you multiply by 13? To get from 2 to 26, can't you multiply by 13? To get from 3 to 39, don't you multiply by 13? To get from 4 to 52, can't you multiply by 13? And to get from 5 to 65, can't you multiply by 13? Oh, well, yes, you can. So what you're doing is you're taking your x value and you are multiplying it by 13. That's your equation. Or you can rewrite it as this. You can have it with the dot representing the multiplication, or you can have the 13 and the variable right next to one another like they are here. They're attached. That also means to multiply. Now, when your equation is multiplying, is that additive or multiplicative? Well, it's multiplying, so that is multiplicative. All right, next one. Now notice you're going from big to small, big to small, big to small, big to small, big to small. When you go from big to small, I told you it's one of two things. It's either dividing or it's subtracting. So let's see if division works first. To get from 3 to 0, well, 3 divided by 3, is that 0? Well, no, that's not. That's 1. So dividing does not work. So let's subtract. To get from 3 to 0, can't you just take your x value and subtract 3? What about 6 minus 3? Isn't that 3? 9 minus 3, isn't that 6? 12 minus 3, isn't that 9? 15 minus 3, isn't that 12? Oh, well, it is. So it looks like you have the same scale factor for each one of these. You're taking your x value and you are subtracting 3 from it. There's your equation. That's it. Now, since we are subtracting, is that additive or multiplicative? That is additive. All right. Now notice again, going from big to small, big to small, big to small, big to small, big to small. So that means to either divide or subtract. Well, some of you are going to say to go from 4 to 1, you subtract by 3. Okay? So 8 minus 3 is equal to 2? No, that doesn't work. So you can't subtract. How else can you get from 4 to 1? Well, can't you just divide by 4? Isn't 4 divided by 4 1? Isn't 8 divided by 4 2? Isn't 12 divided by 4 3? Isn't 16 divided by 4 4? Isn't 20 divided by 4 equal to 5? Well, yes. All right, so here's what you got. You're taking your x value and you are dividing it by 4. That's it. Or you can rewrite it as y is equal to your x value divided by 4. You can keep it in fraction form, or you can put the divide sign just like this. Alright, so since we are dividing here, is that additive or multiplicative? Well, that would be multiplicative. And there's nothing on the back. So guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. Really focus on these last types of problems. Writing an equation from a table. This is what you're going to have to do on your test. Don't worry so much about this. This is what we're going into in the next unit. Okay, guys? Alright, guys. I hope this video helps. Have a great day. Bye.